Could this be your next piece of camera gear that's going to allow your videos to stand out from your competition? This is the upgraded motorized camera dolly from Neewer, and I want to see how it performs in the real world and how I can use it for more interesting creative shots. This is not a sponsored video. I bought this dolly with my own money. I'm out here in remote Western Australia and I wanted to see if I could use this thing to create a little driving and hiking sequence. Let's see what we can come up with. The first shot I thought would be pretty cool is to have a driving over this thing shot. So I've done shots in the past where I've just put the camera on the floor and then the car drives over it. But I think adding a little bit of movement with this thing will just give it that little extra edge. I'm a little bit concerned though that I might not have the clearance under my car. I'm going to be shooting with the main camera, the A7S III with the Sigma 24-70. I'll put links to everything in the description. And I was planning to use this ball head to make it a bit easier to angle the shots. I think for this one, I'm going to have to take this ball head off and make some extra height for the camera. The next shot is going to be my car driving by, but I'm going to have the dolly moving in the same direction as the car. Hopefully that's going to give a bit more of a dynamic feel to the shot. Just throwing the ball head on now just to give us a bit more flexibility when it comes to angling and setting up the shot. For the next shot, I've got to turn off down a road. So what I'm doing is the dolly's going to be moving that way while the car turns round. And because I've got the ball head on now, it's much easier to change the angle and the direction of where the camera's pointing in relation to the dolly. It is hot and humid today, so by the end of this video, sorry to say it, but I might be completely covered in sweat. I think that's enough driving shots. Gonna get to the end of this trail or the start of the actual walking trail, and then we'll go and see how we can mix the shots up when we're actually walking and not driving. Finally arrived at the car park. There's nothing like that fake, oh, I've just arrived somewhere and I'm getting out of the car shot. Let's see if we can elevate that a bit with a bit of dolly movement. Got the lens set to 24mm and I've manually focused on the car. The good thing about this dolly is that you can turn it on, but you don't need an app to actually use it. You can set the speed just using the buttons, and then you can tell it to go forwards or backwards at that speed. Let's go for speed level 2. Hit record on the camera. There's a load of March flies around trying to bite me. It's good job I've got some insect repellent on, and I'm going to hit the up button. We'll start the movement. You can see how fast the dolly's moving, and that's set to speed level 2. I'm going to get eaten alive today. Oh, I'm just arriving somewhere. Oh, take my seatbelt off. One thing I have noticed on that footage is straight away, even though it's got kind of four-wheel drive tyres on, if there's any big stones, you can see the bumps in the footage. It'd be interesting to see March fly, if any stabilisation in post can smooth things out a bit. But we do have these little patches of sand, so I think we should be able to find a smooth enough bit. Just realised I haven't tightened my boots off, so I thought I'd make that into a little shot. Just going to have a slow dolly out away from my boot as I tie it up. Probably use the slowest speed for this. Filming these videos outside in Australia in summertime is always a bit of a challenge with insect life and weather and stuff, but we'll do the best we can today. Found a nice bit of flat rock, so we're going to try and set up a shot here. And the nice thing about having a 24-70 zoom lens is I can zoom in and then I can really accentuate that parallax of things closer to the dolly moving faster than things further away. What I'm going to do with this shot is have the dolly moving that way, pointing towards me, and I'm going to walk towards the dolly, and we're using manual focus, which means as I get closer to the dolly, hopefully my shoes will get more in focus. I'm going to stay in this location, but this time I've changed the dolly so it's moving towards me, and I'm going to walk towards it. I've also changed the focal length to 24mm, and I've turned on autofocus eye tracking, so hopefully that's going to keep me in focus. It is getting more and more humid by the minute, and unfortunately I think we might be in for a thunderstorm, which is not good because this dolly is not waterproof. I'm going to walk a bit further up the track and then see if we can find some more creative shots. I'm going to go back here and then walk back here, and then I'm going to have the dolly pushing towards me as I walk past, and I'm going to try the maximum speed mode, which is speed mode 5. I am definitely going to have a sit down and down some water in a minute. So I'm going to find a nice spot to sit and try and make that into a shot. Nice relaxing dolly in while I stuff my face with some food and water. Even though this dolly has physical controls, so it's really easy to use without an app, it does come with an app. And for this shot, I want to be sitting down and then I want to start the movement remotely on the dolly without having to start it, rush back, sit down and pretend I'm chilling, eating some food. Just want to show you the amazing view. So we're pretty high up here, and then this cliff falls off and we've got beautiful Australian bushland. It's a bit hazy today, but it still looks beautiful. To make this shot a bit easier to set up, I'm going to use the monitor and control app from Sony to connect wirelessly to the A7S III. I'll just record my screen so you can see what I'm doing. Connect to the A7S III. Hopefully it's not too far away, so I'll just have to move closer to it. As long as we don't disconnect, I'll be able to start recording on the camera, and then I can switch over to the dolly app and then start the dolly motion. Right, let's just start recording so we've got that out of the way. I can go load up the newer app, newer, however you say it. I think I'm a bit far away. Just go and get the connection going. All right, there we go. Let's go and hit forward to start. Right, slight technical hitch. Let me just show you what's going on. Seems to be a little bit stuck on that rock. So this dolly is actually two-wheel drive, which means that the front two wheels both drive at the same time. But even so, if the ground's uneven, it's not a four-wheel drive. I'm going to try a different approach. Just going to dolly in or out from side on me of me taking that drink. I've already started recording on the camera, which means I can just use the app. Try not to cough when I choke on the water. You can also change the direction of the front and back wheels. So instead of going in a straight line, you can make it go in curved paths. So I'm going to try that. But I'm just not sure this surface is flat enough to be able to pull that off. And my suspicions turned out to be true. The sloping ground and the bumpy ground made this shot pretty difficult to get. But I think on smooth surfaces, this would make a really great effect. Here's the final edited sequence with color grading and stabilization, if it helped. I'm going to be doing a full review on this dolly and also a tutorial video, so if that's something you're interested in, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it because I want to get this channel to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Thanks a lot, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.